Jeopardy! Please welcome our contestant. Player one. And now, here is the host of Jeopardy, Alex Trebek.
Thanks, Johnny. Welcome to Jeopardy, everyone. Good luck to you in the Jeopardy round. For this game, the categories are as follows. Biosphere. Which century? Zoology. My Spice. The short form. And Elvis lyrics. A lot of clues, a lot of categories. Player one, make a selection. Samuel Eliot Morison won a Pulitzer for Admiral of the Ocean Sea, about this man who died in 1506. Here's the correct response. Christopher Columbus. Player one, back to you. As he is the subject of 1918 and 1939 Pulitzer Prize winners, perhaps the books should be read with bifocals. Here's the correct response. Benjamin Franklin. Player one, choose again. Mockingbird is a portrait of this Southern writer. Okay, player one. Yes. You again, player one. Queen of Fashion is subtitled, What She Wore to the Revolution. Let's hear it, player one. You are correct. We return to you, player one. In a bit of table turning, Poison Pen is an unauthorized bio of this woman who wrote a bio of Nancy Reagan. Here's the correct response. Kitty Kelly. Select again. Columbus reached South America for the first time. Okay, player one. That is correct. Please pick again, player one. John Smith came to Virginia to help found the Jamestown colony. It's player one. You are correct. Player one, pick again. And here's Jimmy.
Andrew Meikle invented the first threshing machine in this century.
It's player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's what we were looking for. The 18th. Player one, choose again. The last emperor of China was forced to abdicate at the age of 6. We're talking about the 20th. Player one, you pick again, please. The MAGNA CARTA was signed, establishing a standard for the rule of law. Player one?
Yeah!
Hey, you're right. Player one, back to you. The giant Pacific This may have as many as 1,600 suckers on its arms. They help it to taste and touch. Player one? Yes. Player one, you pick again, please. While it doesn't breathe fire, the dragon named for this Indonesian island does kill its prey with its deadly saliva. Player one? Hey, you're right.
Yeah!
Player one, you pick again, please. Doggone it, a mud puppy isn't a little doggy, but a large one of these amphibians. Okay, player one. Yes. Please pick again, player one. A type of this snake that sounds like a James Clavell novel is Australia's deadliest and most feared. The correct response is the taipan. We return to you, player one. The rare white alligator has a condition called leucism, meaning it lacks this skin pigment. Here's the correct response. Melanin. Player one, back to you. The Ceylon or tree type of this spice that's good on toast is buff-colored and mildly sweet. Okay, player one. Here's the correct response. Cinnamon. Player one. Pick again. The name of this spice, important in Asian incense, can also refer to a small piece of garlic. Okay, player one. Yes. Player one. Pick again. In a sushi bar, you will likely be offered some pickled this, so you can cleanse your palate between bites. Here's the correct response. Ginger. Select again. Brassica youngsia is the brown or Indian type of this spice. Here's the correct response. Mustard. Select again. Answer. It's the Daily Double. You are in first place. You need to select your wager. Here is your clue. Popular in spaghetti sauce, wild marjoram is more commonly known by this name. The correct response is oregano. Select again. Bench presses build up the pecs, short for these. Okay, player one. Yep. Player one, back to you. The Random House Historical Dictionary of American Slang has an 1896 citation of diff, D-I-F-F, as short for this. Okay, player one. Sorry. The correct response is difference. We return to you, player one. Rad, meaning excellent, was truncated from this. Yes, player one? Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the correct response. Radical. Player one, back to you for our next selection. The Cosmo girl doesn't just look good, she can have a convo, short for this. It's player one.
Yeah!
Player one, you pick again, please. One of the perks of my job is knowing that perk, meaning a benefit, is short for this. Okay, player one. Yes. We return to you, player one. Never let me go. You have made my life complete, and I love you so. Here's the response we were looking for. Love me tender. Please pick again, player one. The warden said, hey buddy, don't you be no square. If you can't find a partner, use a wooden chair. Here's the correct response. Jailhouse rock. Player one, choose again. If you can't come around, at least please telephone. Here's what we wanted. Don't be cruel. Player one, you pick again, please. Ooh, 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 I feel my temperature rising. Help me, I'm flaming. I must be 109. We're talking about burning love. And the last clue for $1,000. No such number, no such zone. Here's the response we were looking for. Return to sender. The Jeopardy round will begin right after this. And we have 2 daily doubles awaiting you in these categories. Wolfgang. General information. Famous Canadians. When they were in high school. Orange You Glad? And in the neck. Let's get back into this now. You have control of the board. In a 12th century beast epic, Isengrim is a wolf who battles against the sneaky Reynard, one of these animals. Here's what we wanted. A fox. Player one, back to you for our next selection. In a medieval legend, the town of Gubbio is terrorized by a wolf until this saint greets it and tames it. Here's what we were looking for. St. Francis. Player one, you pick again, please. Raksha is the mother wolf who raises this human boy in Kipling's The Jungle Book. Okay, player one. Hey, you're right. We return to you, player one. This Jack London wolf character survives years of dogfighting and finally finds a compassionate human owner. We're talking about White Fang. Player one, back to you. In her novel The Plains of Passage, a wolf named Wolf is the hunting partner of a cave woman. Here's the correct response. Jean M. Aul. Select again. This general, first in his class at West Point, ran for president in 2004. It's player one. No, sorry. Here's the correct response. Wesley Clark. You get to pick again, player one. This old soldier was a general at age 38. In 1930, at age 50, he was Chief of Staff of the U.S. Army. Yes, player one? Correct. Player one, choose again. More than 540,000 men and women served under this general's command of the U.S. forces in the Persian Gulf War of 1991. Here's the response we were looking for. Norman Schwarzkopf. You get to pick again, player one. The only place this general wouldn't march was to the presidency. In 1884, he told the GOP, "I will not accept if nominated." Yes, player one? Correct. You again, player one. This Army general headed American-led forces during the initial combat phase of the Iraq War as it began in 2003. We're talking about Tommy Franks. Player one, choose again. In 1917 and 1918, Ontario's Billy Bishop claimed 72 aerial victories as an ace in this war. Let's hear it, player one. Yes. Please pick again, player one. Toronto-born journalist Morley Safer began co-hosting this TV news magazine way back in 1970. Here's the correct response. 60 Minutes. Player one, back to you for our next selection. All right, here with the clue is Jimmy.
This mariner's 16th century explorations of the Gulf of St. Lawrence laid the basis for French claims to Canada.
Here's the correct response. Jacques Cartier. You get to pick again, player one. Co-discoverer of this pancreatic hormone, Ontario's Frederick Banting won a 1923 Nobel Prize. Here's the correct response. Insulin. Player one, back to you for our next selection. This Nova Scotia man founded a famous line of ships in 1838. Here's what we were looking for. Samuel Cunard. We return to you, player one. He ran track at Skyline High in Oakland. Good practice for the role of Forrest Gump. It's player one. Right. Player one, choose again. As a teen in British Columbia, she said her goal was to be a California beach bum. She got her wish on Baywatch. Here's the correct response. Pamela Anderson. Player one, you pick again, please. Answer. The first of the two daily doubles. You are in first place. What are you going to wager? Answer. To make extra money, she sometimes cleaned out the tour bus for her mom Naomi and sister Winona.
Oh.
Here's the response we were looking for. Ashley Judd. You again, player one. As a high school basketball star in Irvington, New Jersey, this royal rapper led her team to 2 state championships. Here's the correct response. Queen Latifah. Player one, you pick again, please. He played quarterback for the Terrell High School Tigers before he won an Oscar for playing Ray Charles. The correct response is Jamie Foxx. We return to you, player one. Infamous herbicide of 1960s wartime Indochina. We're talking about Agent Orange. Select again. Prominent among Protestants in Northern Ireland, the Orange Order was formed in 1795 to honor this monarch. Yes, player one?
Yeah!
Good for you. We return to you, player one. Dystopian Anthony Burgess novel of punks and pathology. Here's what we were looking for. A clockwork orange. Player one, back to you for our next selection. Nickname of the Denver Broncos defense. Here's the correct response. The Orange Crush. You again, player one. Sherlock Holmes solves a mystery involving the Ku Klux Klan and sailing ships in the case of the 5 These. Let's hear it, player one. Sorry, that's wrong. Here's the response we were looking for. Orange Pips. Select again. Curly made his woo-woos and nyuk-nyuks in this hollow chamber, also called the voice box. Let's hear it, player one. Right. You again, player one. In emergencies, this neck operation may be performed with a penknife and the empty shell of a pen. Player one? Right you are. Player one, back to you. These arteries carry blood to the head. A blockage in one may lead to an ischemic stroke. Here's the response we were looking for. The carotid arteries. Player one, you pick again, please.
Yeah!
Answer. The other daily double. You are in the lead right now. What are you going to wager? Answer. This gland makes its hormones by combining iodine with the amino acid tyrosine. Yes. And the $2,000 clue? About 10 inches long, it passes through the neck and goes past the heart, through the diaphragm, and into the stomach. Yes, player one? That is correct. You are moving on to Final Jeopardy, which will continue after these messages. Here's today's Final Jeopardy category. Musical history. Please enter your wager. This is a good category. Here's the clue for you. It's the nursery rhyme that inspired the title of a famous musical based on a 1913 George Bernard Shaw work. Did you come up with the correct response? And that will lose you. Here's the correct response. London Bridge. Congratulations, player one. You're the winner. So long, everybody.